Good morning. This is Bay Area Cares. I'm Sue Hall, and this is a program where we get to highlight nonprofits, fundraisers, and benefits in the Bay Area, people doing great in your neighborhood, really great things. And this morning, I'd like to welcome Associate Director of 826 Valencia, Christina Perry. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about 826 Valencia. That is obviously an address in San Francisco, but it's also the name of the nonprofit. Let's talk about your involvement and how you got there.
Great. So I have been at 826 for 9 years now. So about half of our 20-year history. And my background is as an educator. So I taught for 7 years middle school special education at public schools in Los Angeles and also San Francisco. And that's how I came to know 826. I took my students on a field trip there. They had a designated place on campus at Everett Middle School, a writer's room that I was aware of. And I was thrilled to come on staff from the classroom because of the incredible infusion of resources and how it transformed the experience of writing for young people. So at 826, we provide a range of free writing programs for youth ages 6 to 18. And part of that is individualized attention from trained tutors. So I saw what a difference it made when students had someone affirming their ideas, providing praise, and also, constructive feedback, specific feedback on their writing. I also loved that 826 publishes student work. So in books, in podcasts, on murals across the city. And then what also impressed me about the organization was just that it really tries to bring this spirit of joy, wonder, and whimsy to all that we do. So making writing really open-ended for students, following their interests, giving them choice. All of our spaces are designed to be quite aesthetically unique and enchanting, which I can share more about. But just coming from that school setting, I just was so struck by the need for the resources and also the joy that 826 provides. And so that's kept me here for some time now.
826 Valencia is the address, and it is right in the Tenderloin in San Francisco. Difficult area for everybody. Let's talk a little bit. Can any child in the neighborhood or in the surrounding area who goes to 826 Valencia?
Yes, so actually 826 Valencia is the street address of our original location, which is in the Mission District of San Francisco. Okay. So that's where we started back in 2002. And then in my time at 826, we've seen an expansion. So we do have a second center in the Tenderloin that opened in 2016, and now a third center in the Mission Bay neighborhood that opened in 2019. And in terms of students being able to access our programs, we know that low-income youth of color experience the greatest systemic barriers to high-quality writing instruction and success in writing and in school. And so we really prioritize, youth of color, English learners. And so we do have direct enrollment programs such as after-school tutoring, and workshops, but we also reach our focal students through strategic partnerships with schools across the city, and doing really intentional outreach to make sure that we're reaching students who don't have access to this kind of tutoring.
And it's specifically focused on writing.
Yes. That's correct. So at 826, we really believe deeply in the power of writing, that, for young people to be able to express themselves, to influence others, they're really shaping the narrative of our world. And so that is at the core of all of our programs. And we really believe that our youth and their voices, they have the power to transform our world.
We're speaking with Christina Perry. She is the Associate Director at 826 Valencia, a center that actually 3 centers that support under-resourced kids with writing skills. As you just heard, 3 centers in San Francisco celebrating your 20th anniversary. And I hate to put you on the spot, but I was seeing on the website 20 years later, there was an interview with one of the very first or even the second student there. Tell us about that success story. It's okay if you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that I've heard that specific tale, but we recently had a block party on 826 Day. So it was August 27th,
Oh,
but in
perfect.
celebration of August 26th, that was the Saturday. And there were a number of students now in their 30s who I had a chance to talk to. They came through, they reconnected with our founders at the event, and were just telling me what a wild experience it was, because part of our model and what we're quite known for is our storefronts. So our first center on Valencia Street, due to zoning requirements, we had to have a retail store. And so our founders, Dave Eggers, Nineveh Caligari, they were a little bit stumped. What do we do with this? But as they were getting the space ready, someone made a comment, it kind of looks like a pirate ship in here. And so they had this idea of opening a pirate supply store. So selling everything a buccaneer may need. And so, I mean, just imagine 20 years ago, there was a sign out front that said free after school tutoring. The founders kind of recruited from their friends, volunteers, and students and families wandered into this pirate store just wondering what to expect.
Wow. Yeah. Kind of fun for a kid, right?
Yeah. And, in those early days, I mean, our founder, Dave Eggers, renowned author, was very involved in the programming. And I think what I've heard repeatedly from those early days was just like what it felt like to have your words taken so seriously, and to be able to approach the writing process in such an unfettered way, where no idea was off the table, and there weren't kind of the same limits that you might find in a traditional school environment.
In a special, like you said, enchanting environment. That's really neat. We are speaking once again with Christina Perry. She's the Associate Director of 826 Valencia. And if you have some time to volunteer, and if you have the resources to donate, I was talking with Christina off the air. She said, especially in need of volunteers. 826valencia.org is the website. We encourage you to reach out. Unfortunately, we are out of time, Christina. 826valencia.org if you want to know more about what they do, their mission, and opportunities to volunteer and donate. And thank you so much for what you and the entire staff of 826 Valencia does.
Thank you so much for having me, Sue.
You're welcome. This is Bay Area Cares. And if you run a nonprofit, I'd love for you to reach out to me. Please go to our website at bayareacares.com. Have a great week. We'll be back next week.